Okay, so this screencast is going to go over the first 3 steps for your challenge today. So we've spent a lot of time talking about human migration. Now it's time for us to put that on a map and figure out where all this stuff is. That's long overdue. So step 1, this screencast is going to go over the first 3. So step 1, make sure you have a copy of the geolocated notes. You should already have something like this. You see that I've already pre-built all the different regions. So if you wanted to see North America, there it is. Sub-Saharan Africa is this region highlighted when you hover over that. You can keep this label on, you can turn it off, but what we need to do right now is make sure we have a copy of it. So if you do not have a copy of that, you want to drop down and select Copy Map. Make sure you replace this with your name, like so. Okay, make sure that that is there and make sure that you put it in the Geotech shared folder. The other thing you want to make sure you do is change this to public on the web. Make sure that this is on the web. We're going to be putting this on our e-portfolio, our digital portfolio. So it's important that you change that to public on the web so people can see it. Okay, so that's step 1. Make sure you've got a copy of that. If you're copying it right now, I've already got a layer built in, and it's just an empty layer, doesn't have anything on it yet. If you do not have this movement layer, it's quite easy to get a layer. You just click Add Layer, and there it is. You can something like that. Now, obviously, I don't need both of these layers, so I'm going to delete this. But that's how you create a layer if needed. Okay, and now step 3, we're going to add content from our unit of study. So here's what we want to do. We want to actually document what we learned on this map. So what we can do, we're going to open up this current global migrations, this activity that we did, or things from your memory, because we've already studied all this. So Southwest Asia, the sending nations and push factors, the receiving nations and pull factors, intervening obstacles, their experiences. So what I'm envisioning is if we did something like this, could come over here, and here's some of our sending nations. We could simply drop a pin right here. Okay. So one of the sending nations is Syria, and we can just write a short on what is why. Wow. So why are people being pushed out of Syria? Okay, so you can do that. You can also add images. So you guys have images collected for your photo essay. You can select them from Drive. In your images, you could do just a simple Google image search. So I could do, maybe these aren't even images from your own photo essay, but you can easily use these. So you can add images into this. Let me see if I can get this a little bit more centered for you. So now you've got images that you can add. You can add another pin over Afghanistan and Iraq and make it look pretty similar. Now what we can also do, here's a cool thing that I was kind of envisioning. These sending nations, so Southwest Asia, we've got, more than just Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria, but from this region, there's a lot of people moving into Germany, France, Sweden, the UK. So what we can do is we can come up here and draw a line. And what we can do is just kind of right in the center, we can draw a line up this way. Now, if I double click now, it's going to just give me that one line. But if I click, and add a point there. I come back to my original point, add a point there, and then double click. It actually gives me an arrow. And now I can write about their intervening obstacles or experiences. And now we can write about what's it like for them to try and get from here to there. And we can even add photos of their experiences crossing the Mediterranean. Okay, so here we are. We could select something like this and add that in there as well. And I think this is going to end up being a pretty powerful thing. So if we go over here to preview and see what it looks like, we can see we're talking about people leaving this region, Southwest Asia, and moving into Western Europe, kind of that dividing line between Eastern and Western Europe. Okay, so that's really what we're going to be looking at doing for this unit and every unit from here on out. Okay, so do that. Make sure you get, Southwest Asia, Southeast Asia. You can do a little piece on Myanmar and the Rohingya. You can do Central America and Mexico, so you can figure out where the Darien Gap is and map that, and North Africa if you choose as well. So those are the first 3 steps to your geolocated notes for this project. Go ahead and get that done.